The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort, Guam.
This week on The Hub, one newcomer and three incumbents looking to lead in the 38th Guam legislature. All you have to do to get involved is register to vote and show up to the polls on November 5th. Your livelihood depends on it, period. Half a day and welcome to The Hub. I'm Nick Delgado. We begin tonight's episode of The Hub in tribute to the late Governor Paul M. Calvo. Calvo, a longtime business executive and public servant who served as a three-term senator in the Guam legislature and was governor of Guam from 1979 to 1983. Calvo was known for his business acumen, devotion to his family, and passion for public service. Calvo passed away peacefully at home this morning, surrounded by his wife Rosie and his family. He was 90 years old. A brief moment of silence now for the late Governor Calvo. Well, 25 candidates are running to be your senator in the 38th Guam legislature. Only 15 will make it to lead. This week, we've got on the Democrat ballot incumbent Roy Kanata and Tina Munoz Barnes. And under the Republican ballot, we have incumbent Joanne Brown and newcomer Shelly Calvo. Hafaday. So let's get to it. For the first round, each candidate gets 60 seconds to speak to the voters. Tell them a little bit about each of you. But first, education and health often top the list of priorities for elected officials, that along with public safety. Still, critical services provided by the island's only public hospital, underfunded. Maintaining a safe learning environment for public school students, underfunded. And the Guam Cancer Trust Fund, you get the point. It'll be week 3 of the new fiscal year when talks begin on a supplemental budget during emergency session that hopes to cover those financial shortfalls. So candidates, in about 10 seconds each, I want to get your take on this issue, and I'll let you decide who goes first.
Thank you very much, Nick. I think it is important with the supplemental budget coming on Tuesday that we do think of health, education, and safety. Those provisions are in there, and if more is needed for our hospital, for our education, and for those patients that are suffering from cancer, then we need to be able to provide. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Candidate Calvo.
Half a day. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for the question. I believe that health, safety, and education, especially our economy, are truly very vital and important for us to address and to take into consideration. I look forward to helping build a healthy economy for our island, and I look forward to helping our legislature and our people. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Brown.
Well, we just passed the fiscal year budget not that long ago, and it's really unusual that here we are 2 weeks in the fiscal year and we're already having to look at a supplemental budget and to find out critical operations such as you mentioned. Our educational system, our hospital is underfunded. And the fact that cancer care did not get $2 million out of a $1.3 billion budget, you have to wonder. I think we need to dig a little deeper, and I think we need to ensure that the priorities are being met, because obviously they were not met with the passage of the fiscal year budget.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Kanata.
Thank you so much for that question. Certainly want to thank our sponsors, Docomo, Leo Palace, and KUM, and those of you who are viewing with us. We really appreciate your time and presence with us. But we have the supplemental budget, and we just have to get it to the governor's desk, and I'm pretty sure she will execute on it, and we can proceed further. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates, for your response. That is our icebreaker. Now to the introduction. Again, each getting 60 seconds here to talk to the voters, and we'll begin with candidate Calvo.
Buenas, half a day, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity once again. And my name is Shelly Calvo, number 3 in the Republican side of the ballot. I truly care for our beautiful island Guam and our people, and I truly, truly wanted to help build a healthy and progressive Guam and help our needy and unfortunate and underserved brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Brown.
Well, thank you very much. I've been honored to have had the opportunity, starting 30 years ago, to serve you in the Guam legislature. And I came back all these years later because I was very dissatisfied with the lack of checks and balance in our government, and ensuring accountability with regards to your resources, your money, your government, and the power that you temporarily have given us as your representatives to make decisions on your behalf. Unfortunately, I think corruption in our government is alive and well today, and that concerns me. When we talk about transparency and accountability, we have to put laws in place to ensure that we have a transparent and accountable government. And certainly if you give me the opportunity once again to be your representative in the Guam legislature, I will continue to push on legislation to ensure exactly that, to make sure that the money and the resources that you own, you the people, are being spent on your priorities.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Kanata.
Thank you. Hafide, my name is Roy Kinatsa, and I humbly ask for your vote. I will continue to work hard for you, and I look forward to improving the quality of life for the next generation and to ensure that the next generation doesn't face the same challenges as the previous. Again, I thank our sponsors, Docomo, Leo Palace, and KUM, and most especially for you guys for giving us the opportunity to hear our voices out. And make sure you vote this coming November, and Weston is available as well. So make sure your voice is heard loud and clear and cast your vote.
Thank you, Senator. Vice Speaker.
Si Diyos masinig. Half a day. I'm Tina Rose Munya Barnes. I'm number 5 on the Democrat side of the ballot, and I humbly asked you to give me a chance again in the 38th Guam legislature to be your public servant. If given that opportunity again, I promise to continue to work and build new industries, to train our people to hold good paying jobs, and to support local entrepreneurs and small business, and of course, helping spread the services we give to our veterans, especially our veterans in need here. So thank you for giving me the opportunity, and God willing, si Diyos masi to each and every one of you. Your vote is special. Please afford us that consideration. I'm number 5 on the Democrat side.
Candidates, thank you so much for giving our viewers and the voters your introduction, telling them a little bit about yourselves. Today, your Decision 2024 election show continues with more questions for the candidates after this break. You're watching The Hub.
The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort, Guam. The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort, Guam.
Welcome back to your Decision 2024 election show, The Hub. Now each candidate will be given 30 seconds to answer the questions in this round, and we'll begin with Senator Brown. The first question over to you. Given the slow recovery of Guam's tourism industry and the ongoing competition from other destinations in the region, what specific strategies will you implement to attract more visitors?
Well, definitely. I think we need to reduce the GPT and allow stimulation in our economy that's greatly needed. You don't need to go very far in Tumon to realize that while we have tourists, we don't have anywhere near the volume of people we had before the pandemic in 2019. And I think we also need to reduce the cost of government, because I think that will stimulate more activity in our private sector. It's the private sector that generates revenue, and certainly that is what we need to operate our government. And I think we need to be more supportive of the tourism industry and business in general, so that we can ensure that they have the ability to thrive in our community. So I'm very supportive of that initiative.
Thank you, Senator Brown. Senator Kanata.
Certainly, we have a tourism issue, right? There's 4 economic pillars: the Gov Guam, the military build-up tourism, and the local entrepreneurs. I think that we need to support. I am very much in support of the Guma Incubation Hub and supporting entrepreneurship. I think we can also look at possibly lowering the BPT, and then we can realign our priorities from there, and also supporting our government employees.
Okay. Senator Munya Barnes.
Thank you. As I agree with the 2 retiring speakers, I think it's also important to look at the MICE market, the meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. I think working with the travelers that are off island, this MICE market can bring more to our island, attract more visitors, and do good. Working closely with GVB, who continues to do a good job, but we need to continue to give them more.
Okay. Thank you. Candidate Calvo.
Half a day. As we continue to look for other markets for tourism and push forward to bring in our tourists back, I'm thinking that we need to diversify in another angle and look into offering Guam as a hub, a hub in Asia for businesses. For instance, I'm looking at Hong Kong. We should actually actively promote us for U.S. Companies that are based in Hong Kong right now, because of the in recent years, there's a change in temperature. because of China's policies, I think we should offer Guam as a next hub for these American companies. We have the advantage of proximity, and we do have the U.S. rule of law. So we are at the advantage in this sector. It's something that we really, really need to push forward for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your responses to that question. This next one will start with Senator Kanata. With meth use contributing significantly to crime on the island, what specific policies will you implement to combat the island's growing drug problem, and how do you plan to enhance rehabilitation and prevention efforts?
I think it all comes down to funding and home front, right? I think mental health and addiction is a huge issue our island continues to face. I think every family in our community has some kind of addiction, and I think we just need to fund public health services and mental health so that we can ensure that these people are getting the adequate services they need, and we can help them get out of this addiction. Funding, we need to fund our law enforcement and ensure that the operations are available so that they can execute on their mission and ensure that our roads and our public areas are safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Mooney Barnes?
Can you repeat the question just
Sure.
one more time?
With meth use contributing significantly to crime in Guam, what specific policies will you implement to combat the island's growing drug problem, and how do you plan to enhance rehabilitation and prevention efforts?
Rehabilitation, working with behavioral health and other interagencies within the health department is really key. The other thing as it relates to drug interdiction is I've worked on legislation regarding the harmonized code and digital manifest that's with the Customs and Quarantine, and I think if we get that into implementation, we can carefully track what's coming in and out of our island. So I think that these are really important factors that we must continue to facilitate, and that would be key.
Thank you. Candidate Calvo?
I think what we need to do here is focus our energy on generational change. I know that majority of the crime that's happening in our community is driven by substance abuse and poverty. So education is still the key to actually address these issues. We need to start from our community when they're still young, they're youth. We need to educate them on matters that are not healthy for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Brown?
Well, I think one of the things definitely we need to do is reduce the amount of drugs coming into Guam. If there's anything that's gone down, I mean, our groceries, our gas, everything we need to spend to live has increased substantially. But the cost of methamphetamines has dropped dramatically, which tells me it's coming into our borders and coming in a volume that we've never seen. More the reason we need to have outreach and awareness, particularly among our young people, but I definitely think we need to cut off the supply and reduce the supply from coming into Guam.
Thank you, candidates, for your responses to that question. This next question will begin with Senator Munya Barnes. Fast forward to year 2050, and you've left a lasting legacy as a senator. What does Guam look like under your leadership, and how do you specifically contribute to ensuring the island thrives while preserving culture and environment?
I think it's important to implement the new industries that we have in place. I think that education is the key to full success. We need to provide training. We need to give our people the opportunity to come back home after they get educated or get educated here, because we have a great university and a Guam Community College. And I think making sure that we give the resources to our people to come back, serve, and be in and integrate with our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Calvo?
I think what we need to do is focus on giving our community or our people skill sets so they can actually they can go after high-paying employment. And we need to support the businesses. We need to build a better economy, a progressive one. And this is a community and collaborative effort, and all of us have a stake in this one. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Brown?
Well, I think ensuring that we have an accountable government that's serving our people and ensuring that the resources of the people go back to the people to ensure they have that quality of life would be my primary legacy that I would want to leave behind. I've been an environmentalist most of my life, if not all of my life, and I certainly want to ensure the beauty and the cleanliness and the safety of our water. That to me is important. I put legislation in place many years ago to ensure the future of our island is going to be bright, and might not be here to see it, but I certainly want it for our future generations.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Kanata.
Thank you so much. So certainly it's my mission to ensure that the next generation doesn't inherit the same challenges as the previous. So I'm the youngest candidate. I'm 28 years old, and I want to make sure that, we improve government service and we cut the lines, we cut the bureaucratic red tape so that we can increase the business opportunity and increase hub zoning in line with the military buildup, and we can ensure that we create a positive economic diversification and we can thrive together as a community.
Thank you, candidates, for your responses to that question. Keep it locked here to your Decision 2024 election show. Time for another break. This is The Hub.
The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort, Guam. The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort, Guam.
Welcome back to your Decision 2024 show, The Hub. Candidates, you each will get 30 seconds this round after hearing a question from a member of our community. It's part of The Hub we call What We Want.
I would like to ask them what they're going to do for our island. And, hopefully they do something good.
Oh, that viewer right there is feeling good, and he just wants something good in return. Candidate Calvo?
Thank you for that. I run because I truly care for our island, and I really wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to help improve the quality of life here on Guam for everybody that lives here. And that is really my sole mission and my main goal, to aid the needy, the unfortunate, and the underserved. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Brown?
Well, definitely ensuring the quality of life of our people, I would say, is the top of our list. I think in having a good educational system, good health care, and most importantly, I know our people these days want to have public safety out there because, I grew up in Guam, that we actually had a better life than we're providing our children and the community right now. And that's something I want to see. I want to have an island where our people thrive and our people are also safe. And I would have to say that's a major concern a lot of our people have shared with us, that they don't feel safe on Guam. And that's very difficult to see. And I think we need to do more in that area.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Kanata?
Thank you so much for that question. Certainly, I want to support some more entrepreneurship and small business opportunities so that we can ensure that our economy thrives as all across the board and not just the big business, right? We want to make sure our little people have a chance, from the duk-duks to the azuzus. We want to give everyone the opportunity. And I think increasing the pride in our community. There's been a lot of, unfortunate things that have happened in our community. My signs were defaced. And I don't think it's just about me. It's about our community. Everywhere we go, we have a lot of vandalism, and we just need to restructure that and put some pride out back in our community and moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Munya Barnes?
Supporting our local entrepreneurs and small businesses are key, but giving back to our community, giving them the resources that they need, being proud that we are here on this beautiful island of Guam. So I think if we can do it with a collaborative effort, working as a team, I think that facilitation of coming together in this legislative body and work with compromises to do what's right for our community is key for having a successful, beautiful island of Guam.
All right, candidates, thank you for your response to that question. Let's hear now from another voter.
How would you benefit the improving education on Guam and being committed to our children and ensuring that our schools are well-equipped and well-maintained for future students?
All right, Senator Brown?
Well, I think we have to ensure accountability in the educational system. I mean, I'm a product of 9 years of public school education on Guam, and I enjoyed my time in public school. But when we hear that the basic safety of our children have been compromised, that we didn't have sanitation inspections as we should have, more the reason we've been really diligent. I sit on the Education Committee, and we did not grant the Department of Education an extension this year. We wanted to ensure that they went in there and they did the corrective actions that they needed to ensure that our kids have a safe environment. Now we want to make sure that academically they're getting the education that they need to have a bright future.
Thank you. Senator Kanata?
Thank you so much for that question. Certainly, I think we can support the education system by ensuring accountability and making sure that those services are being provided and that our students are getting the resources they need. And also with the charter schools, I think we can offer the students and the future generation another opportunity to grow in other spectrums. I mean, I don't think everyone is cut out for higher education, but we can also streamline workforce development and encourage other opportunities to grow with our community so that, again, we can together thrive and the next generation can be prosperous. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Mooney Barnes.
I share those same sentiments, Nick, and I think the people of Guam should know and understand that education is the key to full success. And providing and working with both the public schools, the private schools, the charter schools, all the educational systems here on Guam is key for our children to be successful. We must provide those resources, and we must look at creative ideas to work with the teachers, especially the teachers and the staff, so that they can provide for the students to have an adequate education. And we really need to work with the 14 adequate points for a successful education and revisit that timeline. We need to look into it. But again, education is the key to full success.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy Calvo.
Statistics shows that educated communities are progressive communities all over the world. So that's where we want to bring our level. So education is the key. That means we need to revisit our curriculum. We need to provide the resources must be used adequately. Transparency must be exercised. Thriftiness, frugality must be exercised. No more of the wastefulness, from computers to books to microscopes. We need to really put in all our heads together just to tackle all the issues in education. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates, for your response to that viewer's question. Now to another question from another voter.
What would you do to clean up the island?
Simple. And we'll start with Senator Kanata.
I think a lot of people like to blame the government for failed operations, but at the end of the day, we need to restore pride in our own homes. It's at the home front. A lot of these things, even in the school, we could provide new toilet bowls and paint the school. But again, a lot of this comes down to the pride of your own community. We cannot keep painting things every day because of someone graffitiing it. Again, I think it all begins at home front, right? But we can provide the resources. But again, we need to be accountable on ourselves and keep our community accountable. If you see something, say something. Don't just take a picture and then think that someone else is going to fix it. You need to do something and help the community thrive. Again, it's all about the community. COMUNITY. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Senator Mooney Barnes.
Thank you. We literally need to take ownerships, starting with us first, helping clean up the community. There's trash-a-thons, there's nonprofit organizations that assist in helping him clean up. We must continue to do that, not just give the resources. We got to start with ourselves. We talked about it starting with the home front. It starts with the home front, but we must continue to do our part and help not just the government, but all of us together working to clean up our island of Guam.
Thank you. Kennedy Calvo.
It is indeed a community effort. It starts from us. Yes, I agree too. But everybody needs to collaborate. We need pride and dignity. If we want tourists to feel safe and come back here, we need to fix our island. And not only that, I'm actually looking into, you got to have a repercussion for things that are not doing good for your community. Probably a heftier fine for the ones that do trash, for our dirty our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think all of the examples that have been given are wonderful. Definitely, we need to have pride in our island and respect for ourselves and each other. But we also need to have enforcement. Certainly, at the years I was at Guam EPA, we were very effective with that. But I think with pride and enforcement combined, I think we have a much better opportunity to ensure the continued beauty of our island that we as a community want to see.
Thank you, candidates, for your responses to all of those questions. Let's keep the energy up and the questions coming. These candidates get a final round here in the Hub when we return.
The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort Guam. The Hub is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Business and Leo Palace Resort Guam.
Elected to make and change laws that govern what you do. This is your Decision 2024 election show, The Hub. Now, candidates, it's your time to shine. Each of you will get final 60 seconds here on The Hub to speak to the voters. So make it count. And we'll start with Senator Munya Barnes.
Hafaday, I've been your public servant for more than 9 terms. I want to continue in the 38th Guam legislature. I'm number 5 on the Democrat side. As a mother, a grandmother, and great-grandmother, I have the heart and soul and passion to continue to serve. With your powerful gift of vote, I would continue the work that we do to create new industries, to provide for the local entrepreneurs and small businesses, working closely with the veterans also, and to train our people. It is in my heart to serve you. God bless each and every one of you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be your public servant, and I want to continue to be that. Serve you. Sanamasi.
Thank you, Senator. Candidate Calvo.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to give us a platform to speak and say our intentions. My name is Shelly Calvo, once again, number 3 in the Republican side of the ballot, and I humbly ask for your vote this November 5. Please come out and vote and exercise your voices and your rights. I truly am excited to work for you and do the people's business. My slogan, She Cares, is not just a slogan, but it's actually everything that I stand for. I truly care for our island. I truly care for our people, and I cannot wait to help our community become more progressive and become better. Thank you very much, and maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Si Diyos Masi.
Thank you, Senator Brown.
Well, thank you very much, the people of Guam, for the opportunity you've given me over the years to serve you, and also the opportunity all these years later to come back. I've always asked the tough questions, but the reason I do that is to ensure that our government is accountable and that public officials that have your power and positions that they hold have your trust, and ensure that they're doing the job they need to do, and more importantly, that they're properly spending your money and your resources on your behalf and not taking care of their friends and family. Corruption in the government of Guam is at an all-time high. And that's unfortunate. That's not the reality in the future that we want to see for ourselves, for our families, and certainly for our future generations on Guam. I want to continue to look at legislation that will ensure transparency and accountability in our government. If you want to make sure your government is working for you, then please vote for me. I'm number 10 on the Republican side of the ballot, and I will do as I've always done. I will continue to fight for you, all of you. That's why I'm here, for our community and for our families and for a better Guam. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Canatsa.
Again, I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for giving us the time. Thank you to our sponsors, Leo Palace, Docomo, and KUM for hosting us. It's been very much my honor to serve you at a very young age, at 28, and also it's been my pleasure. I look forward to serving you. If you give me the opportunity, I'm only asking for one of your votes. You have a lot to choose from, and that's your responsibility, and I hope that you take action and you choose those people who represent you and ensure that your voice is heard loud and clear. So again, my platform is housing, economic development, accountability, and land. And I want to continue to work on that so that the next generation doesn't inherit the same challenges, and also cut bureaucratic red tape so that we can have businesses thriving and our community thrive. Again, thank you so much. Have a great day and God bless.
Candidates, thank you so much for speaking to our viewers and to the voters and making it count. You can also make it count by hitting the polls this general election on when? November 5th. They know, and now you know too. Catch us here on The Hub next Wednesday to hear from more of your senatorial candidates, and now available on KUAM's YouTube and Facebook page. Watch the candidates for Guam Delegate in the KUAM News 2024 Congressional Debate. I'm Nick Delgado. Remember, you can always visit KUAM.com for all your election coverage. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.